This is 1316. We're doing Chapter 6, Section 1, which is Trigonometric Equations. I'm David Dipple from Lone Star College, Montgomery. Okay, when you're working with equations, you solve them all as you usually would. The first step is to isolate the variable. You go through all the steps as you always would. Start farthest away from the variable and move until you get there. You need to have the trig function on one of the sides. Okay, and then once you have the x equals, you look on the circle to find out what the angle is. And you make sure you go all the way around the circle, because with trig functions there's at least two answers for most points. Sometimes there's four, like 45 degrees. If you have plus or minus, that happens 4 times, things like that. Okay, suppose you have 2 sine theta is equal to 1. We're in radians between 0 and 2 pi. Okay, we have an angle. So we move the 2 over to the right side. Okay, since we have sine is equal to 1/2, that happens 2 places. Since we're in radians, it's pi over 6 and 5 pi over 6. So our angle theta is pi over 6 and 5 pi over 6. Okay, so suppose we want to find x, in this case, between 0 and 360. So we're going to move our 2 over with our 1s, we get 1/2. Now cosine squared, so you move the square root, a square by taking square root. So you get plus or minus 1 over the square root of 2. Now that happens 4 places, 45 degrees, and all of its components around the circle. So you have x minus 25 is 45, 135, 225, and 315. Now add 25 to all of those, so you get x is 45 plus 25 is 70, 160, 250, and 340. Okay, suppose you want to find theta, 0 to 360. Those should be the same variable. Okay, we need to move all our trig functions to this side, so subtract 7, add 2, so you get negative 4 sine theta is equal to 1, divided by negative 4. So sine is negative 1/4. We haven't memorized that, so we need to use a calculator. And it gives you x, or theta, is equal to negative 14.5. Now at once between 0 and 360, sine is negative in the 3rd and 4th quadrant. So you take 14 degrees and go down from the 1st quadrant and go down from the 2nd quadrant. So you get 194, because that's 180, go down makes 194, and 360 go down gives you 345. Okay, suppose you want to find theta or x if you're in radians. 2 cosine squared minus 9 cosine minus 5. We need to factor that. 2 cosine times 1 cosine, and 1 times 5. So it's 2 cosine times cosine, and 1 times 5. 2 cosine times 5 is 10. 1 times cosine is 1. 10 minus 1 is 9. That's our middle term. Okay, so this equals 0. So you get 2 cosine plus 1 is equal to 0. Subtract the 1 divided by 2 and add 5. So cosine is negative 1/2. That happens on the circle. Cosine is 5. That does not happen on the circle. Okay, cosine is negative 1/2 in the 2nd and 3rd quadrant, which is 2 pi over 3 and 4 pi over 3. And cosine is 5, never happens, so that one you just throw away. So theta is 2 pi over 3 and 4 pi over 3. So that is how you solve equations. In this case we factored. Earlier we just solved them. Look on the circle and see what the angles are.